somehow remind me of gigantic anthills. Does that one look a little like a gigantic cow patty? In part one of this park, we explored the petrified bits of Petrified Forest National Park, leaving off at Jasper Forest. And now in part two, we're driving north and moving on to the Badlands areas of the park. The Blue Mesa hike was perhaps my favorite part of this park. You can really interact with this unusual terrain. Merriam-Webster defines Badlands as a region marked by intricate erosional sculpturing, scanty vegetation, and fantastically formed hills. It's very windy. Hope it doesn't blow me off the mesa. This particular Badlands is over 200 million years old. There is some loose gravel along here. Watch your step. Looks like I'm doing the whole trail. It's basically you go down a hill and then there's a fork that is a loop. So I'm just going to the right and looping around, and I believe we'll meet and I'll go back up the exact same way. Note the dark and light grays, the gray-blue bands, and also a sort of a brown peach band. I also heard there were purple bands. I didn't see as many of those. That looks more blue in this light. I don't know if it translates into a moving digital capture. It's a short hike out to the starting point before you descend into the Badlands. The hike is about a mile total. That is where we're going. I've hiked about 5.3 miles today, so that's good. All right, let's move on. I love this bird gliding in the wind, not really moving forward, just gracefully floating. All right, we're going to see where we were from the other side. That's where we hiked. Now suddenly we've got green introduced, sort of a greenish color introduced into the mix. I believe those are the two teepees. I don't see anything else that really stands out as they do. The teepees, named for their cone-like shape and similarity to native dwellings. They are striped with beautiful layers of pinks, reds, blues, grays, whites, and purples. Next was Newspaper Rock, a great place to see petroglyphs. Just a little short walk on a trail here. Two telescopes. Oh, so maybe that is the way that you view them. You can look through these telescopes to see. Can you see them? Very cool. And you can virtually drive right up to the viewing area. No real hike here. Of course, on Gugu-Gee, we developed language some
400,000
years ago. But we have a head start only because we evolved earlier than humans. And actually, when you think of humans and how evolved they are in the area of art, music, and even language, when you think of someone like Shakespeare, they are very evolved with their language. It is amazing. Well, on we go.
Some of the artists who carved images on newspaper rock may have lived just a mile up the road at Puerco Pueblo, the largest archaeological site in the park.
Interesting.
These are the partially excavated ruins of an ancient Puebloan village over 600 years old. There are also more petroglyphs here in this area.
Okay. This is a 0.3 mile walk around Puerco Pueblo, and we're hoping to see some more petroglyphs, maybe a little closer this time. And by the way, the park closes at 5 o'clock. No one can get in past 5 o'clock. And then at 6:30, they ask everyone that's in the park to drive immediately to an exit. So it's not like a lot of national parks where they're basically open 24 hours. This one is different in that regard.
They could be as much as 2,000 years old.
There they are.
It is thought that the images aren't so much language, but more ideas or symbols or even calendar events.
Just sort of hit me. I'm tired. My energy just took a downward turn. I believe we have 2 more things we want to accomplish. We want to see the painted desert, and we want to see the cool rusted out antique car on Route 66 or Route 66.
Route 66. I passed quickly by an old 1930s Studebaker, which marked where a section of historic Route 66 crossed Petrified Forest National Park.
This is the painted desert inn. Doesn't look to be operational at the moment. I don't know if it's just a daily thing that closes at 5 like everything else. Anyway, so painted desert at Kachina Point near the desert inn. So there's a rim trail. I don't know if the point, maybe the point is up there, but there's a rim trail. And there's a trail also that goes down into the desert.
The historic Painted Desert Inn seems to be closed down now, as an inn or a restaurant. My understanding is that it functions now as a museum.
So probably out here is Kachina Point. And then the rim trail is probably off to my right. And then you can hike to Tawa Point, but then you wouldn't have a way to get back unless you had a friend. interesting how the colors change from one side to the other. This has a dark maroon area. The raven here to greet us. And then this area on the other side has a more of a traditional clay color. Hey buddy, I know this is your perch, but I come in peace. I'm from the planet Gugu-Gee. Come in peace. Okay. There he is. Ah, look at you. Look at you. That must be fun. That must be fun. Well, we won't hike the rim this time because it's really almost time for us to head for the exit, but and I am tired too. And I think I get a sense of it from this outlook right here. Well, we did it, Gugu-Gee-ans. Petrified Forest National Park. We conquered it. We didn't conquer it, we imbued ourselves within it. Quite the day.
Tune in next week when I return to an area further south, Usery Mountain Regional Park, just so I can see the famous saguaro cacti. By the way, very quickly, if you like the show, consider Buy Me a Coffee to help support the show. Buy Me a Coffee is a great way for creators and artists to accept one-time support or membership ongoing from their fans for the price of a coffee. Go to buymeacoffee.com/brainfire to help the show. Thank you.
Take some coffee and some bagels and get out of here to where the